Vergil Ortiz says that was not Errol Spence Jr. that fought Terence Bud Crawford. Fact or fiction? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, the big homie, Vergil Ortiz, recently gave an interview and he spoke about the rematch between Terence Bud Crawford and Errol the Truth Spence Jr. I just want to give my 444 nickels on what Vergil had to say for anybody left.
I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this, cause look, people have been saying it on Twitter, and then next thing you got all the professional boxing analysts on Twitter talking about you don't know shit or you're taking away from Crawford. But there was something wrong with Spence that night. Let's just be honest. But I didn't think that Spence was gonna look like that. He didn't look physically there. It was evident, and if you say that he's not, then you just don't know. You don't know Errol. Like, I was in the ring with him, and I watched him from his first fucking pro fight all the way up to that one. You can't say that was Errol in that ring that night.
Alright, y'all, so what did Vergil Ortiz have to say exactly about the original fight between Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford? Well, basically he said that he feels like that wasn't the real Errol Spence Jr. And he gave a couple of good reasons why he felt that way.
What do you say?
And he has some other interesting things to say about how people have been chewing him up on Twitter for voicing his opinion.
You really can prepare.
Now, the first thing he said was you could see that there was something physically off about Errol Spence Jr. And I think a lot of people, whether you're a Spence fan, you're a Crawford fan, or you're just a fan of boxing, I think a lot of people noticed that there was something seriously off about Errol Spence.
Never have I stole on a nigga and he smiled at. That boy saying, oh boy, you got nuts, oh boy. He want to beat your ass. And for the next 10 minutes, this nigga made me touch everything. Nigga, I'm all in the closet.
Now, Vergil Ortiz says he's been following Spence since his first professional fight. And he noticed that he just didn't look the same physically when it came to that Terence Crawford fight. And he says if you deny that fact, you just don't know boxing. You have a prior agenda, basically. Like, you're saying that for a reason because you're just happy that Terence Crawford won the fight, basically.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And, that's all right. If you're a Crawford fan and you were rooting for Crawford and you felt like Crawford was going to beat Spence the whole time, there's nothing wrong with that. But you cannot deny that there was something seriously off about Errol Spence Jr. Now, he also said that he feels like that Spence should have not fought Terence Crawford at 147 because he's been at 147 his whole career, man. And, here's the thing about it. He definitely waited around for Terence Crawford, and it's almost to his own detriment. He waited around to his own detriment because if he would have just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and concede these belts. I'm going to give Terence Crawford the opportunity to be undisputed if he can go collect the belts. Like, if he would have vacated all those titles and said, hey, you can either fight me at 154 or you can go after undisputed because I can't make this weight anymore, and I know I can't make this weight anymore. But instead of doing that, Vergil said he feels like that he put himself and his family at risk by getting there and trying to accomplish something he knew he was already past.
This nigga not knock my eye out. He like, this nigga gonna get it as soon as I find my eye.
And I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel like, especially when the fight got announced, I kind of felt like, something shady's going on in the background. But, I'm going to be a hater if I address it. So let me just allow things to play out and then I'll address what I felt. And, it's crazy because I do feel like if he would have just fought him at 154, there would be absolutely no excuses. There wouldn't even be a need for a rematch at this point if this fight would have just took place at 154, because it would have been better for both guys. Hey, both of them are leaving the division now. Terence Crawford has no intentions of defending those 147 titles, and Errol Spence has a lot of egg on his face, whether it's deserved or undeserved, it's there. You know, you can clearly see someone threw an egg at his face because he kind of embarrassed himself by trying to accomplish something he knew he was already past.
My mind's telling me no, but that crack, y'all, that crack keeps telling me yes, gotta go.
I agree. I think if he would have just went ahead and fought Crawford at 154, there would be none of this. You know, either he would have beat him and we could have gotten past this, or he would have lost, and there would have potentially been a rematch, especially if there was a rematch clause. But I think if there were no titles on the line, then there would have been no rematch clause. So, you know, both guys could have kind of moved on with their career, and there would be no need for all this back and forth. And, you know, I think it's crazy because even Vergil Ortiz says being a professional fighter, you know, being under professional trainers and all this, he's even getting chewed up on Twitter for voicing his own opinion about what he thinks about the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight. And, you know, me personally, I think that we're going to get a different version of Spence in the rematch. You know, 154 and 147, they're only one weight class in between each other. You know, it's only like 7 pounds, but those 7 pounds can make a big difference, especially if your body type's not allowing you to go down that far in weight anymore. So I would have to say that it's a complete fact what Vergil Ortiz is saying. I think that what he's saying is completely true, and I think that Errol Spence Jr. has a chance to redeem himself and become more than likely one of the greatest boxers in history if he can pull this off. But if he can't, you can best believe that the Crawford fans and everybody else in the boxing world who want to say I told you so are going to throw plenty more eggs at Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah, I retired at 35. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm 52. I've been retired for like 15, 20 years. I was done with Rockefeller at 35. I've been able to do whatever the fuck I want to do for the last 20 years. And not have to do nothing they telling me to do. I ain't got to go to no red carpet. I ain't got to smell nobody bad breath. None of that shit. I get to it's just, and then Instagram, I'm like, oh, I ain't never got to go up. Right. I'm outside right now because I got new companies. You know, I was explaining to people, it's like The Godfather. For the last like 10 years, my crew has been like, yo, why you keep letting them do this? And I'd be like, don't worry about it. They could have the block. I don't want that old block. And now, 5 years later, The Godfather hit all 5 families in one day.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are mighty.
You know my situation, you know I got a lot of niggas hating, a lot of niggas waiting to replace me, a lot of chickens chasing, they wanna taste it, I tell them face it, you other bitches basic compared to my lady, that sex game crazy, brain on lunatic, I ain't even doing shit, chillin' with my niggas rolling up, getting blown, she hit my phone, like baby, come home. I'm coming down, I'll come again later. And you come in between, how you fit it in them jeans. Everybody so mean, but the smell so nice. Flow so mean, but the style so tight.
Oh my. Make me feel so right. Come and stay the night.
Too high for words, too fly for birds. Telling mother pigeons, get to rock kicking. You not listening, baby, stop tripping. They ain't on your level. What part of that are you missing? Look, I just wanna put the cuffs on you. Take you to the room, put the cuffs on you. I just wanna lick on you, touch on you. Keep talking that shit and I'ma bust on you. You know I got it like that though. Take her to the movies, they go down in the back row. Shitting on them bitches, why you clown them like that for? She know she got it like that, so that's my baby.
respect you? Must I remind you how much I love you? Must I remind you how much you do for a nigga?